How on earth did Japan miss out of the fourth industrial revolution of the digital age? Will it also miss out on the fifth?
Without Japan.
We are entering the fifth industrial revolution, or so the players in the forefront would hope with AI. But how and why did Japan, the MVP of the third industrial revolution, was almost a complete no-show in the age of the internet and online platforms? Japan was the engine room of the third industrial revolution. From the transistor to milestone moments like the Walkman, headphones, and discs. Iconic brands like Toyota, Sony, Nintendo, Toshiba and Panasonic shone like 1,000 stars. But how on earth did Japan disappear in the age of the internet? As America took the forefront with AOL and MySpace, and others like Cisco and Intel powered the cyberspace engine, Japan, who started well with desktops and early laptop makers, petered off completely as software and internet platforms dominated the fourth industrial revolution. Yahoo, Google, Facebook and others moved in, and none came out of Japan. None.
The GSM miscalculation.
Japan was not part of the global system for mobile communications, GSM. They already had their PDC system in operation, which they used to pioneer mobile payments. But they made the fatally strategic mistake of not getting involved when GSM was being set up. Just being involved meant you had a seat at the table, and Japanese companies would have been part of the infrastructure build-out for the fourth industrial revolution that became the age of the internet. The internet picked up as GSM adoption spread. It was a marketplace that Japan snubbed to their detriment. Here's what they missed. GSM's global spread didn't just connect phones, it built the internet's infrastructure. Every new GSM network meant more users online, more data flows, and more opportunities for platforms like Google to scale. But a domestic market of 126 million couldn't compete with a globalized internet, and Japanese firms like NEC were stuck servicing a shrinking island as platforms like Nokia and Ericsson laid GSM cables worldwide. By the time Japan belatedly adopted GSM in 2001, the internet's giants already owned the future. At the peak of GSM adoption in 2005, Japan had 100 million mobile users, but 99% were on PDC. Meanwhile, GSM's 1 billion global users became Facebook's first billion customers.
SoftBank's $100 billion gamble.
Enter SoftBank. This was Japan's desperate $100 billion bid to buy into the platforms it never built. Masayoshi Son's vision fund threw cash at Uber, WeWork, and ARM, hoping to buy Japan a seat at the table. But as WeWork's collapse proved, you can't outsource innovation. This was Japan's tragic loop. Ignore GSM, miss the internet boom, then waste fortunes chasing what others had pioneered.
China's contrast.
China is a different story. They were bystanders in the first, second, and third industrial revolutions. But they took the fourth by the scruff of the neck. Their platforms are unmatched. They locked out the global internet and their giants like Google and Facebook but locked in their own. This gave platforms like Baidu and WeChat breathing room to grow without competing head-on with US giants. All they had to do was look across the Pacific, copy what worked, and improve it at home. They may have been a single market, but it was one that was unmatched. Today, the fourth industrial revolution has catapulted China into industrialization's forefront, and they're now leading the charge into the fifth.
Japan's chance at the fifth industrial revolution and at a crossroads.
The data is brutal. Japan files just 8% of global AI patents, US, 32%, China, 28%. As tech analyst Kenichi Yoshida notes, Japan is a hardware museum in a software world. But can Japan get back on track? Hidden in its aging factories lies an ace. Toyota and Sony sit on decades of manufacturing data, untapped fuel to train industrial AI, if they'd stop polishing old trophies. Here's how. Leverage legacy data, use factory datasets to train industrial AI. Acquire, not build. Buy mid-tier SaaS platforms, like Line, Yahoo Japan, as AI springboards. Bet on robotics, merge precision engineering with AI collaboration. Strategizing and participating along these lines will give Japan's massive third industrial revolution's leading platforms a bypass to plug into these early days of the fifth industrial revolution. Japan's story isn't over, but the clock is ticking.
Lessons for platform owners.
Standards are strategic, bet wrong, like Japan with PDC, lose decades. Isolation kills, even genius needs global markets. Pivot or perish, hardware giants must become AI studios or die. Like we said earlier, Japan's story isn't over, but the clock is ticking.
What other lessons can you draw from this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. If you want more of this, please subscribe to our channel, share and like this video.